When we came out of World War II and the Great Depression, America was a land of tremendous optimism. That's when the middle class was reestablished in a huge way. Poverty started to decline. There was peace, there was prosperity, and that lasted through Truman, Eisenhower, and Kennedy. Things were looking up. But then Kennedy was shot and Lyndon Johnson was in America's seat of power. He began a spending spree in Vietnam and also at home with his so-called war on poverty. This combination ramped up American debt at a rapid pace, and we're still suffering from it today. He was followed by Richard Nixon, and when he was elected, he actually continued the era of big government, adding new federal agencies and bloating our budget. This led to a crisis of confidence from the other nations, all the ones around us, the ones that we'd helped in war, like France and the United Kingdom and others. They had supported the American dollar as the sole primary reserve currency. At that time, foreigners had the option of having paper dollars, or they could turn them into the U.S. Treasury and receive gold in exchange. The Fed was supposed to hold enough gold to back 40% of the currency we had out. But Charles de Gaulle, he was upset with America and policy, and he felt like he'd be better off with the gold than with the paper dollars. So he started to ask for the gold exchange. President Nixon feared a run on the bank. And as an emergency, in response to that, he chose to temporarily close the gold window. He said it was temporary, but that move completely decoupled our paper dollar from any backing other than the full faith and credit of the United States government. About that time, Nixon arranged a deal with the Saudis that oil would only be traded in American dollars, and that forced other nations to hold our paper. One perhaps unintended consequence, however, became the financialization of our entire economy. As a kid, I remember that you wanted anything that you bought to be made in America. But after 1971, that changed. Foreign cars became preferred, foreign electronics, foreign furniture. We didn't have to manufacture in America. America was all about financialization. The power shifted from Detroit and Main Street to Wall Street, and that's where the real money was made. The rich got richer through stocks, bonds, and financial derivatives. The middle class lost ground, and the poor got trapped in a welfare system. And inflation, it emerged in a huge way. What cost $1 in 1971 costs maybe $8 today. Even in the past 20 years, just since 2003, prices have gone up something like 75%. And they're up 20% just since the year 2020. So what's the cause? Let me read something from Global Times. They write, since the 1970s, income inequality and wealth disparity in the United States have continually deepened. The rich keep getting richer, the poor keep getting poorer, and the middle class is squeezed. Today, these perilous trends continue. The middle class is shrinking. A middle-class America was formed in some 20 years from the end of World War II to 1970. Afterward, however, despite the continued growth of the U.S. economy, the middle class has not expanded, but shrunk significantly. The share of American adults who live in middle-income households fell from 61% in 1971 to 51% in 2019. Now, Global Times, they get the outcome right, but they miss the actual cause. They blame partisanship, racial inequality, and the institution of capitalism. Now, those may have had some impact, but their own data clearly shows a growing middle class from 1945 until the early 1970s.